the Coco co-host, the Black Don Juan. He's part-time famous, full-time funny, Carlos Anthony.
We in here with a little surprise. And I was like, and I was sitting up here jamming to it too. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Dude, I love the HWP song, but yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up, man. You don't have to make a big deal about it. So I fucked up, man. It's all right.
Because people be like, oh, is it Tuesday?
Well, so what I'm going to do is when I edit this, the audio, people won't even know because I'm going to fucking edit out.
Okay, well, there it is.
But then they'll hear us talking about it and they'll be like, oh, fuck, I wish I would have heard it now. But, you should have tuned in live. Anyways, we're back from a hiatus. If you didn't see the Hollings Worthless yesterday, we talked about it's pretty much all been on me, guys. Majority of it's been me. Well, you don't have to shake your head so fast, Carlos. I mean, there are times when you have gigs at like 6 o'clock. So you just have this in front of you going.
But, man, edit that out too.
Yeah, no, that'll be the fucking clip. We're back. I'm trying to do it quick because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. We talked a lot about it on the Hollings Worthless, but over the last 2 months, family crisis, and went to a funeral last week, and so been dealing with a lot of that. But as far as on the love front, me and Angel still strong. We still strong.
How are you?
Strong.
Stronger
like a fucking
man. That's what they say. That your hard times brings people even closer together. So y'all should be really, really good right now.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're getting along. We get it. We're doing it.
Man. Cheers to that. Cheers. Yeah. Toast to better times.
Yes. Sláinte. And I need a refill. Yeah, and Carlos and I are embarking tomorrow across this great nation of ours to, I mean, what once was a great nation. We're going to, dude, it's fucking insane what's going on. And we talked about that too on the Hollings Worthless. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that. But yeah, we're going to be in Chattanooga this weekend. And we're flying out there tomorrow. We got a free night. I don't know. Maybe we'll catch a flick. Oh, dude, we could go see a flick. Maybe we'll do that.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it. We got plans. We gonna make it happen. Go Chattanooga it up.
Speaking of flicks, is a movie a good first date?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Well, I don't think I would do it as a first date. I don't know. Because, I mean, if you're trying to get to know somebody, is this somebody you already know and y'all been talking for a while, or is this somebody brand new?
We'll say brand new.
No. Because, I mean, well, it depends on the movie, too. It's a lot of different factors here. It's a lot of different factors.
Well, so I used to have a joke. I never really finished it, but the whole joke was like taking a girl out on the first date to the movie, and the girl will be like, but we can't even talk. I'd be like, I know. I'll still like you after the date.
And I think that's the part I was going with. I mean, if you're trying to get to know somebody in a movie, you ain't gonna be talking during the movie because that's gonna irritate the shit out of me if you sit there trying to talk to me.
You know what's hilarious to me about this is that you're not like you're not saying, oh, it could be a bad date because she might be trying to talk to me. It's not that you're not talking at all. Yours is that she might be trying to talk to me.
Right.
And
I'm yeah, you're trying. What do we come to the damn movie for if you're gonna talk to me? So yeah, no, I don't think it's a good first movie unless y'all have talked about the movie and you're like it's something that both of y'all are interested in seeing. That way, neither one of y'all gonna be really talking like that during the movie.
It could be a good test. How is this person in the movies? I remember. Actually, I remember this fucking, as my buddy used to say, he would have said, this bubblegum smacking bitch.
Wow.
This fucking broad I went out with. But we went to me and some chick, we went to a movie. This is like a first and last date. But so we this is in Seattle. We park in this parking structure. We go to the movie. As we're walking in, she sees somebody she knows. And so she's like, oh, hi, blah, blah. They're talking, whatever. Cool. Movie starts, and she's like leaning back and like talking to her friend and I'm just like, oh, embarrassing and shut the fuck up and all this shit, right? And so I was already annoyed. And then when we're walking back to the car, we're in this parking garage, and I can't find my car. I can't remember where. I don't know where the fuck it's at. And she's just fucking running her mouth. I can't believe you can't find your car. You and this is what made me snap. She goes, how fucking dumb can you be? You can't find your car. I go, well, you were with me, so how fucking dumb are you? You don't remember either, dumb shit.
Because y'all rode together.
Yeah.
But y'all were equally as dumb in that moment.
Yeah. I'm like, dummy, you were with me. So where is it then, fucking genius? Where is it, Einstein?
You gonna let me just walk around and try to figure out why you know the answer to the question?
Hunt.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, don't talk during the movie. I mean, unless it's something again, short questions. Did you catch that or blah blah blah? But nah, I don't know about it. I don't know about a first date,
dude. And that fucking Angel will talk during the movie here at the house though. Angel will talk like it drives me nuts. Like when we're watching a movie, like here at the house, and so what she kind of gets it, like or she'll say, hey, pause it for a second. So then, okay, cool. I love that. Cool. 100%. You want to tell me something? Cool. Let me pause it. Go ahead, honey. What do you want to say? Okay, we done? Cool. Play. But don't fucking start yipping yapping. And then I'm like, what? And then she keeps talking. And then if she's asking me something, I'm like, hold on. So then I got to pause it, and then she talks, and then I got to rewind it. So, but now she's like,
so you're making this single life sound so much better. I can just watch a movie all the way through. Nobody's asking me no questions. I can talk to myself.
It drives me nuts, dude. It's you know Carlos Rodriguez,
absolutely,
our buddy Carlos. So I have my buddy Justin Ruppel. Shout out to Justin, good buddy of mine in comic. Do you know Justin?
I don't know Justin.
Good buddy of mine. I've known Justin now. Fuck, like 13, 14 years. I met him in Seattle. He was the house MC at the club that I ended up being the house MC at. But he came out to Vegas to visit, and he was staying with me when I was in the apartment. And this was when I lived in the apartments that Carlos lived like 6 doors down. So we're all gonna watch a movie. We're watching a movie at my place, and Carlos is the same as us. Where when we're watching a movie, hey man, let's all just shut the fuck up and watch the movie, unless we're just like, oh man, that was crazy or whatever, right?
Right.
Quick shit, like you said. So we're watching this movie, and Justin starts like somebody comes on the scene on the screen, and he knows this person, or there's some story he has about this person, but so he just starts he starts telling us this story, and I just kind of go, hey, yeah, so me and Carlos, we kind of have this thing, like we don't really talk during the fucking movies.
In other words, shut the hell up, man.
And Carlos goes, hey man, I just met this guy, don't bring me in this. And Justin was like, well, I guess I'll just shut the fuck up. I was like,
yeah,
cool.
do that.
Oh, yeah, let's go. All right, man, that's awesome.
Do that. No, man. Yeah, I get it, man. Those are very sensitive times. You're trying to pay attention because it'll be that one time, that one off, that the rest of the plot hinged on that one little scene, and now you missed it. You're like, what? So what did I miss? And then you can't go back to that in the movie theater. You can't rewind it in the movie theater.
Dude, it is it's the worst is at a movie theater. Like if you talk while we're on the couch or whatever, it's a little annoying, but you know, I can pause it. Especially if you tell me to pause it ahead of time, that's a fucking I love you. That's perfect, right? But you just start jibber jabbering, like what the fuck, man. Plus I have a short attention span, so you know, you start saying something and I'm like, what? It's the same thing. Another joke I never really worked out, but this is a true thing. Have I told you my thing about like talking on the phone? I hate conversation confirmers. And what
no,
that's somebody that is, you're talking to them, they're going, yeah, yes, okay, like they keep, and because like Angel used to do that, but I told her about this, and she doesn't really do it anymore. But because I'm like, so it's got to be like a walkie-talkie when we're on the phone, like one at a time, because if I'm telling you something and you keep going, yeah, okay, oh, then
And
I
go
stop.
on.
Yeah, I stop every time. I'm like, oh, what? Were you saying something? And, oh, no, I'm listening. I'm like, well, no, you're not really listening. You're talking. So why don't we just listen? And then when
Right.
I'm done, say something because I'm like, I'm like, fucking. Then I lose track of what I was saying. I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? Because you said something, and now I'm like, oh, it's your point now. But
We're talking about whatever you just said.
oh man, it drives me nuts. Conversation confirmers. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Ooh, wow. What?
Why is that even
What are you
necessary?
saying?
Why is that
Yeah.
necessary?
Comic book sound effects.
Right.
Wow. Wow. Dang.
Pow, bam. Bam. What I
Anyways,
say that there you go.
so movies. We should make a list of like for the listeners. What are good first date? What would you say? I can tell you, I had a great first date idea. But do you have a kind of a go-to for a first date in general, or a first date that you put together that you're like, this is pretty dope?
That I've done before, or
Yeah,
that I would plan for my standard first date thing,
both.
or
Do you have a
both.
standard first date, and is there
No.
one? Is there a first date that you planned one time that you're like, I really fucking this is pretty smooth?
Well, I've definitely for a first. I mean, I'm pretty universal when it comes to a first date. I don't know. It just depends on the person and what they like and what we both are into. I mean, it can be dinner, but it can be as elaborate as going in a helicopter. So,
The fuck? First
yeah,
date?
I've done that before.
You did?
Yeah. I've taken a girl on a helicopter on the first date.
Was that here in Vegas?
It was.
Did you go over the? Where'd you go?
We went over the strip. Man, we went straight down
Oh, that's pretty
straight over the strip and came back right on back.
Was that
So,
terrifying?
no, not at
Oh.
all. Not at all. I mean, it was dope. It was dope. Something to do. She had never done it before. So, it was like, hey man, why don't let's go do it there.
Is it spendy?
Nah, you can get them on Groupon.
So was it just you two though, or was there other people in there with you?
I don't remember it being anybody else, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Because for some reason I feel like it was supposed to be a group thing, and and they wound up having to change the helicopter, and it wound up being a like a 2-seater one. So yeah, I think we wound up lucking out on it, if I remember correctly.
God, I'd be fucking terrified. Before or
No,
after Kobe?
yeah. After.
Fuck, I'd be fucking.
Ah,
I'd be in my head.
no, because we talking about 5 years now since Kobe. That was recent. That was a 26. So I'm gonna say before. It was actually probably a little bit before. Yeah.
Did you say it was in 26?
No, I said Kobe died on the 26th.
Oh, okay.
January 26th. So it's been 5 years. It was just exactly 5 years ago. A couple
Wow,
days.
that's fucking R.I.P. to Kobe.
Yeah, man.
One of the best. Okay, so that's like that was the helicopter. Is that probably your best or like?
That's one of them. I mean,
Uh-huh.
hey man, listen, and when I goes all in, I puts the date because I took a girl one time when the Kings of Comedy, and we sat in the front row. Yeah,
Fucking brave.
yeah, we sat in the front row of the Kings of Comedy in Nashville, Tennessee. I believe it was. Yeah,
And we're
That was
going
a-
back
that
to
was a good one.
Nashville. One of the young kings of comedy going there now.
Hey man, listen, who knew? Who knew back
Yeah.
then? But yeah, we went and sat in the front row. The first row, she was impressed. We had a nice little dinner. We went to a steak. Matter of fact, we went to Ruth's Chris before that. Yeah, we went to Ruth's Chris, and then we went to Kings of Comedy.
Oof.
And she kept walking down. It was like, where are we going? Why are we going down so far to the front? I was like, because we in the front row, baby.
And she's like, "Ooh, let me just take these panties off now."
No.
Oh no.
Nah.
Oh.
I don't think nothing happened that day.
What about the helicopter chick? Her?
Yeah, well, shit. Yeah, we hung out for a long time.
You're like, oh yeah, we banged on the helicopter.
It's been a tight fit, but you just keep flying that helicopter, that player.
I had a date idea. Well, I did this. I don't even remember it's funny because I don't remember the girl it was even for, but this is when I was struggling for a little bit on the dinero side. So I was like, how can I have a dope first date and not spend a lot of money? So I did it like a choose your own adventure. So it was like 3 stages. So I had 3 things that we could do up front. And I was like, you pick one of these 3, like,
Mhm.
and so she picked one and we did it. And then the dinner, I had 3 affordable dinners. And so I was like, you pick this, and then the thing we did afterwards. I don't even remember what I had down. I think one of them, because yeah, one of them was go to McMinimans. This was in Oregon. We went to McMinimans, which she had never been to. Which McMinimans, Kennedy's,
Mhm.
McMinimans. Do you know about that in Portland?
I've heard that before. I've heard McMinimans.
McMenamins. Why you say it like that? It's almost sound like you're
That's
doing
how
like an
you
Irish
said it.
slur.
I go to
McMenamins.
McMinimans.
McMenamins. Uh, but McMenamins, they fucking now it's in my head. McMenamins, they they're like a restaurant bar, but they buy buildings and then convert them. So in Portland, there's a thing called Kennedy's, and it used to be a middle school. So
Mhm.
McMenamins bought it, and then they turned like the gymnasium is a giant theater, and they have like couches and shit in there just all throughout. Um, and then the old lunchroom they turned into a restaurant, but they took some of the classes, a bunch of the classes, and they turned them into little overnight rooms, so you can spend the night at the middle school. It's pretty dope. So we went to McMinimans on the first thing that was in my fucking head. That's
Hey,
gonna be
listen,
that's my first album, McMinimans. My
so
next album.
you stayed in a middle school.
Well, we
That was
we walked around there and got some drinks. They have their raspberry. I think it's called Terminator. They have a beer. It's like a raspberry beer. It's fucking
mhm.
really good. And I think we might have ate there too, or that might have been the second part. We went somewhere else, but yeah, it's pretty dope. If you're ever in Portland, you should go to McMinimans.
No, I ain't going to.
McMinimans.
I ain't, yeah, it's McMinimans.
McMinimans. Fucking
Stay at the
McMinimans.
junior college or whatever, the middle school.
Yeah. Now here's a question with dating. When you were married once, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, when or do you don't joint accounts? Did you guys do joint accounts or no?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the joint account.
Yeah.
As a man, I think we take care of the business and we handle it from whatever account we have. However, because of obvious reasons, I think women need to have their own. So you spend it how you want to
Good way
spend
to
it. I'm
put it.
not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not in your budget, and you. I mean, your pockets, and you're not technically in mine. You just know that the business is getting handled. So I know people do it. Sometimes it turns out to be a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
But it also, I get it. It provides some transparency for both people to see
Yeah.
to some degree.
I think I'm of the same mentality as you. I mean, Angel and I, we don't, and I mean, but we're totally fine. I mean, there'll be times when we'll float each other, so to speak. It just kind of like how like me and you would do, or me and Sean would do, or one of my other buddies, Zelmy or whatever, and then like with the mortgage or whatever, we'll send each other for bills and all that stuff. So, but yeah, it's
I mean, I think. I mean, again, all that stuff boils down to communication. Like,
yeah,
as long as we're communicating what the needs are from both parties, and I think it's all good. But when you start trying to figure out, hey, man, I need to be in your pocket. Don't you worry about mine. Then now we having a whole different type of discussion. Because if you have a job and I'm constantly dishing out, and you aren't doing anything on your end to reciprocate. And I'm not saying a woman has to, you got to throw lavish gifts or pay all the bills and all, but come on now. At some point, you would think that either party would be like, you know what? Let me do something special. This person is taking care of the overwhelming majority of something. Let me kick in somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that
absolutely. It's funny you say that too, because I just the only the part about like, oh, let me get her or get him or her something just out of the blue. Um, Angel, I saw these. I get we all get emails of like whatever shoes or whatever. In Converse, they have these pink Chucks with like big, huge white soles. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, Angel would love those." So I ended up getting her a pair of these Valentine's Day Chucks, and she was like, "Oh, they
See?
love them. I
That's what I'm
love
talking
them."
about. But that's a give and take relationship. That's how it goes. I don't know where people are getting away from. We getting so far away from give and take relationships or the understanding of that now that people just think that they can sit back and take and the other person on the other side is supposed to just be cool with that. And
Right?
so I'm like, I don't know where this method of thinking is coming from. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
very, very weird. But hey, to each his or her own. Like I tell people that during the show now when I'm talking about relationship. If you got somebody good, you better hold on to them. Because
Yeah.
this shit out here in these streets today is rough.
Now, have you? Because when we started this, had you moved out of your old place yet?
Yeah, I was already over here. When we started doing
Okay.
Love in Black and White, yeah, I was already here. Yeah.
Has that ex hit you up at all?
No, we talked
Yeah.
maybe about a couple weeks ago. It was something
Okay.
brief, but I mean, no, we man, cool. We don't have no issue. I don't have no
Yeah.
issue with her. She shouldn't have no issue with me. I wish her the best. I hope I continue success with what she got going on. But that's the way it should be. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. If stuff don't work out with somebody, then unless it's some abusive relationship or somebody overly taking advantage of you, then you should be able to part ways as human beings and be like, hey, this just didn't pan out like we thought it should.
And
So,
who have you had the worst? Well, I obviously don't name them, but like an example of some of it, the things that have happened. Your worst breakup.
hmm. I didn't know you say it's a worst break. It was just disappointing. More
Mm.
disappointing than anything. Because she was that woman was a good woman, not my ex, but somebody passed
Oh,
most
your
recently.
ex wasn't a good woman. Oh, okay. We'll
She
let her know.
was. She was a good woman, but I'm talking about somebody down the road, way down the road. I mean, she had been cheated on so many times, and she had trust issues, and so obviously every time I would be out, it would be something. Even though I wasn't doing nothing, it would be something. And after the fact, I was like, man, I'm out of here. Fucking, I'm gone. Matter of fact, I would never forget I was on the road. And she called me and was like, I heard you were on this podcast and you didn't tell me you were on the podcast. What else are you out in Vegas? I was traveling through Vegas, going to California. And what else were you out in Vegas doing then? If you wouldn't, I was like, you know what? This is where I jump off the train. This is where I jump off the train. And
Oh,
I just kind of stopped. And it was one of those situations where I guess she caught herself later and was like, send me long emails and things. I'll go to counseling if you want me to go to counseling and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. But that after the fact, I was kind of like, she wasn't a bad woman.
you,
I just wasn't putting up with it no more.
she's like, we can go to counseling. You're like, you should do single counseling, not
I
couples.
was. But as we get older, we also start to realize again if you want things to work with a certain person, because like I said, she wasn't a bad woman. It was that you're dealing with other situations that you're bringing into this relationship. So when you're doing that, if you don't want to be with that person, you're gonna excommunicate real quickly. But
Right.
if I didn't have any issue with her, so had I been like, you know what, I'll ride with you. I'll go to the counseling sessions with you. Because if it's going to help you be better for what we're dealing with, then I'm cool with it. And I felt bad about it. The years later, I was like, oh man, I probably could have held on to her for a little while longer.
Now, have your this it just popped in my head, something that happened with me, but I'm wondering, has your mom and or dad ever tried to set you up with someone?
Never,
Really?
never, never. I mean, they'll tell me about people that they've met or that I know, and they'd be like, "Hey, such asked about you," I know he might be asking about you. And I'm like, no. But they've never been like, hey, actively been like, hey, I met this little young lady at the mall and she'd be a good fit. No.
My mom one time, I was living in Seattle. My mom lived in Bellevue, and my mom worked at her career. She was like a sales rep for General Foods or General Mills, or it might have been General Foods. I don't know, but one of them. So we used to get like cereal before they were released. I remember when we got Cookie Crisp. I think it was Cookie Crisp, but I remember Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We got that like months before it was released, and I was like, "This is a winner." But afterwards, like kind of like when she was retired from that, she would work part time at Nordstrom's in like
Okay.
I think like the fragrance department. Well, she was telling me my mom knew like I liked black women, so I remember there was some lady that started working there with her, and my mom was like, oh, there's a new lady. I think you. And I was like, okay, mom, fucking relax. And then I went into her work one time, and it was this fine sister with short hair. So my mom actually like got us met or introduced us, and then I started, running my game, flirting and stuff. We exchanged numbers. Went out on a date. I think we went on a few dates, fact. And but she was from Atlanta, and she was bisexual, and she kind of was just passing the time with me until her girlfriend moved to Bellevue or Seattle. But I was like,
you was the go-between.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go between these nuts.
You're the go-between. Listen, I don't know what made me just think about this. Now, this was a weird kind of breakup. I told you that story about this girl that I broke up, and she started dating my roommate.
Maybe, because is this where when I was like, I could never date somebody that just tell it.
So what?
I said we talked about something where I was like, I couldn't date somebody that dated one of my buddies, but I don't.
Okay, so I was living in Memphis, Tennessee, and yet another I was literally just out of college, so I'm fresh on the scene. I'm still new to the work world, and this girl was probably, if I'm in my early 20s, she had to be late 20s, early 30s, but she was a nurse, so she was established. And so I'm like, I like you, baby. You just fine. Everything is all good. But I was like, I had gotten robbed in Memphis, and I was like, I am the fuck out of here. I'm going to Nashville. And so, needless to say, this was around the time she and I were kind of like, oh, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you moving or not? And I don't want you to move. And I went to her house, and she was begging me not to leave, and I was literally holding on to my ankles as I'm walking through the house, and she's getting dragged to the door.
Oh, she was holding on to your ankles.
Yes. And she's dragging, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. And I was like, I'm gone. Like, I gotta go home. I'm going home. So I was like, yeah, I don't know, you weird. But I left, I was working for Enterprise Rent a Car at the time, so I was trying to get a transfer to Nashville. So I leave, go to Nashville, come back. She's standing I had a roommate at the time. We standing in my foyer, and I was like, well, this is weird. Did you know I was coming back? Like, I didn't talk to you to tell you I was coming home. And she's like, oh yeah, well, me and what his name was, and going out to the jazz club. And I was like, oh, y'all have a nice night. And I went on upstairs and went to bed. Come to find out, obviously, when I left to go to Nashville, they started dating. But he fucked her over because she co-signed on a car for him. And he said, adios. And then she comes calling me, have you talked to him? I was like, no, why would I talk to him? I was like, that's your responsibility now.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of the other weird ones. I was like, why are you holding on to my ankle and I'm dragging you through your apartment? It looked fucking weird.
It is. And did your roommate see all that?
No, he didn't see that, but he definitely knew we were there because she would always come over. She would always come over. But the flip side to that that dude was bisexual, and I didn't find that out till later as well.
You're like, I didn't find that out till I woke up and he was sucking my dick. I'm like, oh shit.
No, absolutely not.
We just want to say here at the Hollingsworth, this is just jokes. Carlos never, as far as I know,
absolutely not. That never happened. But whatever went on in his room, I noticed after the fact that his fraternity brothers, we were 2 different fraternities, would always come over and they would always go to his room. And I thought that was odd because we got a whole living room downstairs. But again, I don't be in nobody's business like that. Yeah. So I was like, now I know what was going down in there.
Oh fuck. Holy shit. I mean, you were how old when this happened? Or how old was that dude?
We both was in our early 20s. We went to college together.
I mean, it's still not right, but maybe when you're younger, you're thinking with your dick way too much. I'm not saying you. I'm saying guys in general. I mean, but shit, it's still I couldn't do it.
But it didn't even phase me. That's how I knew.
No, I know, but
yeah, I was just kind of like, all right, man. I'm literally coming off the road from Nashville to Memphis, and you standing in the foyer, and I was like, okay. I don't know if she thought I was going to be mad, if I was going to overreact, or what. I don't know what she thought was going to happen, but I was like, y'all have a good night.
It'd be so funny. You're like, hey, here's 20. Go ahead and go have fun,
go have a good time.
And I want to give a shout out to the Sand sisters, Sanders Robinson and Sandy J. What up?
What's happening, y'all?
I'm trying to find our little
I was pulling it up. I had the topics here. Because it was one that I forgot. I think I actually deleted it. I don't know. But here was one that I watched a video of, I guess it's a couple that was about to get married, and they were talking about the prenup.
Oh.
And she was like, why would you even ask me to do that? I don't want your money. She literally bawling. And he was like, well, if you don't want my money, then this not an issue. So that's kind of the question or the statement is
it this thing?
Oh no. What was that? I don't even remember what that was.
I don't know. These type of y'all wife, this isn't you that said this. Whoever said, he says, the type y'all wife up though. I be seeing y'all. I just don't say nothing. Let me see what. It's a high volume woman. It says. Hold on.
Here's a list of jobs that men should not do, especially grown ass men. Okay, for one, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, any fast food restaurant, if you think that you're a grown-ass man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown-ass man in his goddamn 40s flipping my goddamn burger, okay? Let it go. Leave it alone. That job is not for you. Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress, okay? Why are you a grown-ass man working at Ross? That makes absolutely no sense, okay?
I would love to be in front of this chick and just destroy everything and be like, well, you said you don't want somebody handing you a dress. What if they're on a Rodeo Drive and they work at a dress shop? You said Ross, so that's where you go, you fucking dummy.
Right.
And the McDonald's thing, Angel was I have 2 funny McDonald's story and I'll play the rest of that. Angel was telling me, I think when she was in high school or maybe right out of high school, she said one of her friends had worked at McDonald's like through high school and then out of high school, and like right out of high school her friend was making like 6 figures managing a McDonald's back in the day, and they were like, God damn. And I remember when I was in high school, and I went to McDonald's at Bellevue Square, and there was a guy, he had like a thick Russian accent, and just like she said, some middle-aged dude, working at McDonald's. And the guy, I can't remember, I don't know if I like said something that, jokingly to him that he liked me or whatever, but I remember he said, here, take my number. And he wanted me to call him for something like, he made it sound like a business opportunity. And being young and a kid and just being like, nah, like this chick, I'm like, this guy on fries is going to do something for me. Come to find out, the guy was a millionaire that just liked to work. He was like retired. And so he took up a job at McDonald's, and I was a fucking dummy. and that could have been my fucking thing. So this fucking lady, do you want me to pay the rest? Oops.
No, because I mean that's pretty much. I remember the video now,
Okay.
and it's pretty much the more of that. And it's so much wrong. And yeah, that's why I say it goes back to the current society and the way people think. Is what if that man is working? Like you said, what he may have that opportunity. He's like, hey man, I'm just working because I need something to do. I got money on the side. You don't want his. But what if this man is working because that's what he wants to do in order to get to a better place or get out of a situation that he was. You don't know what that man's situation was or his passion or nothing. So I agree. This is the only part I agree with. Don't date a man or woman who is not motivated to be better.
There we go. Yes, dude.
If they're happy doing that, then I don't know how I would feel about that. But if you're doing that as a stepping stone to get somewhere else, then I don't. Hey, how you gonna knock that person for that?
Dude, I've always said I don't care what you do as long as you have goals. You know, like that you're. Like if you work at McDonald's, are you trying to get on fries or what? You know,
what are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to do?
But you know what's funny is, you know what, you'll hear this from women a lot. But you know what you never hear from dudes is, I won't date a chick if she works anywhere. Like, I mean, as far as like, maybe stripping, they don't want to date a stripper for whatever reason, or for everything. Who's this Lasia Princess? What up, Lasia Princess? But yeah, I've always said, like, you can work at McDonald's as long as you have goals. I don't care like what my girl does, as long as is she happy with what she's doing, or is it a means to an end to do something that she's happy with? But you hear women all the time be like, he does that. I don't want to fucking date a dude that works at McDonald's or whatever. I'm like, fuck, if it's legal, who gives a fuck? And it doesn't affect you. I mean, that tells you what is going on behind the scenes in their head.
Absolutely.
Like,
but even a dude that won't date a stripper, but he goes to the strip clubs, that's hypocritical.
Exactly.
Like, dude, what's wrong with you? I mean, you're going in there for something, and obviously it's to get your rocks off, and I get all that as well. However, if you met a girl out and about, and she winds up telling you that she's a stripper, are you seriously going to be like, I don't fuck with the strippers, but I'm gonna be in there every other weekend throwing my dollars around? That shit don't make sense.
Yeah,
make it make sense. But
I dated for a little bit. I mean, it was more like a fun thing, But a stripper. Her name was May, and it was crazy. The way I met her is, I used to have a fucking convertible Chrysler Sebring. I don't like to brag, but
for some reason I can see this. Okay, go ahead.
I had a Chrysler Sebring, and May, she had a convertible Mustang. And dude, I fucking remember this vividly. I don't remember the guys with me, but I was in my Sebring with two dudes, and we had the top down, and she was in her Mustang with two chicks, and we were driving on Rainier Avenue, and we pulled up beside, and we're like, hey, what's up? We're talking shit. So we pulled over, and everybody exchanged numbers, and then me and her ended up. And she had a license plate. I remember it said Mayday, and but then me and her ended up like dating for a little bit, yeah. I mean, I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna come see you at work.
Right. But it's just a mentality that I think I watched that video. It's been a while since I watched that video, and that girl, she's claiming that she's only dating high valued men. You're not a high valued woman. Because anybody who starts to use those statements, I discount immediately, because 9 times out of 10, they don't even know what that means in terms of being high value. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, you got to find out, first of all, what do you value?
Right.
That will dictate
100%.
What is a high value. If it's money, then it may not be a high value person. I'm not saying that all rich people have no values, but you know what I mean. So it's like, what are high value things to each person? Like, dude, for the longest, before Angel and I met, I always used to say, and it sounds so simple and basic, but I always used to just say, I just want to meet somebody nice. I just want, somebody that's a genuinely good person, good heart, and it sounds like corny and like all that shit, but I mean, it'd be great if they have a fat ass too and some titties, but number one, I just want to be nice.
Well, you got. I mean, let's keep it real. You have to be attracted to that. I mean, that's number
Yeah.
one. You got to be initially, and people need to cut the bullshit. I'm going for their personality. You didn't meet their personality first. You saw somebody and you were physically attracted to them for whatever reason, in whatever capacity, and whatever you like, and that's why you went to them. The personality came second. So
here we go. This is a little Love in Black and White saying. We can say I've always said this, and we'll say it's from Love in Black and White. It's personality, it's physical that attracts you. It's personality that keeps you.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
You could have let it marinate a little bit. Give me a little more credit. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope saying. Ladies in the chat agree. Physical that attracts you, personality keeps you.
But that's true. That's absolutely. So that's why you said, going back to the whole high value thing. If people don't know what they value, then how can you claim to be this person that only accepts high valued people? I want somebody who respects my time. I can make money. Yeah. And that's something I'm really starting to understand now. They print, like they say, they print money every day, but you cannot give me back my time. You cannot make my time any more important other than the quality of the time we spend it. So if you can't give me quality time, I'm good.
And time is money.
Time is money.
Yes.
And time is money. So yeah, we good.
Fucking, oh man. And wait, let me grab this because we're gonna wrap it up here in a second. Sandy texted me about something she had said. That fucking bubblegum smacking bitch. I had a buddy.
If you saw that chick without all that stuff she had on right there, with my camera, with all that stuff she had on, then she looks busted. Like, how you can't if you go from looking halfway decent to when you take this shit off, you completely busted. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I value natural beauty.
Absolutely.
That's what somebody should say to him.
You can't have all that shit just completely change who you are. Like, come on, man. Knock it off.
Actually, we'll do this one and then we'll bounce. Can a man and a woman have sex and still be just friends?
Since I put that question up there, you got to go first.
And this is we're granting that all the people involved are single.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not like I'm in a relationship and then there's a friend of ours and we bang and we just say, okay, we'll just be
this is on some single stuff.
Let me wrap my head around this again. I want to make sure Can a man and woman have sex and still be friends? I'm gonna say, yes, 100%, yeah. Because there's exes I have that we're still friends that I've blessed them.
Well, that's Jesus H. but I'm saying when I ask the question, I mean not after the fact. We still became friends. I'm talking during we friends.
We fuck and then we're still friends.
And this one night we decided, hey, let's take it to a whole different level for that night. Can you go back to being that same friendship that you were before y'all had sex?
So
no condition, nobody's feeling the ways. So yeah, and go.
Well, the only thing because I have scenarios like that, but there was an attraction at first, like we dated at first, hooked up, and then we're friends now. But you mean like, no, you were friends, you were just friends. It'd be like it'd be like if I'm single and me and Sandy, who are friends, have always just been friends, and then we hook up and then say, okay, let's go back to being just friends. I'd say yeah. I think I can't think of an example that's happened in my past, but I would say yes, because I'm thinking like, sorry, Sandy, we're using you. You're going to use Sandy as an example.
Sandy said yes. So yeah, this is alliance.
So use it, Sandy. Sorry, you're just going to be the city hoe for everybody. For just kidding. I love you, Sandy. But yeah, because what if hypothetically me and Sandy are friends? One night we're like, hey, fuck it, let's just see. We hook up, and then afterwards, either we're like, maybe we'll do that again sometime, or maybe we won't. But let's say Sandy meets a guy and she's like, oh, I got this guy now, and we're gonna, cool, yeah, we can still be friends. I'd say so. I'm saying yes to all that.
Okay. I say yes too.
You motherfucker,
yes
I'm sitting there, I'm sweating and shit, and you're just like, yeah, I think so.
I think you can.
Okay, now use Sandy in the example again. Fuck Sandy now. You got to give you Sandy an example.
I believe that you can. Again, it just depends on the level of your friendship and your understanding of that friendship. If something just happened, because are there friends that we have that we are attracted to? Absolutely. If some shit went down, you're not going to stop it. You're going to let it happen. But after that, I think sometimes you do have the capability of being like, hey, well, shit, that it was what it was, and let's continue to be friends. However, I think also on the flip side of that, there are certain people who also have stronger feelings that can play into that. So it's a slippery slope. I wouldn't make it a norm to do that, but I think it's a slippery slope. Sometimes it can be.
Yeah. I was going to say it'd been funny. Okay, now you do it, but you use Kalia as the example.
we still be friends.
I know.
Go back to being friends, like shoot, because that's it. I mean, that's also how the friendship is, So
yeah, this is interesting. Sandy said, if I'm attracted to my friend, I won't do it. So you got to be not attracted to your friend. That's interesting.
That's a very interesting, because I don't know how I do it.
I can't get hard if I'm not attracted to you.
I'm not attracted to you. Yeah. So I don't know. That's an interesting one, Sandy.
And Sandy said, I've only had that situation happen twice in my life.
Right.
I've only done it like 7 times.
Give me that dick.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Let me just
friends, just helping a friend out.
What hell of a sleepover.
Yeah. She said attraction is beyond physical for me. Okay, Sandy, you're better than all of us. We get it. Fine. Okay, we got to do our plugs and we got to get out of here. I thank you for the ladies that came in late. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Okay, I'll let you go first, Carlos. I know the first thing you're plugging.
Oh yeah, we are in Chattanooga this weekend, doing it up at the Comedy Catch. Then after that, I just picked up Planet 13 here in Las Vegas. I'm also at LA Comedy Club. Then I am at we are at Mike Drop. Then Lake Havasu. It's a lot going on. Everything is just the comedy steamboat is picking up steam. So check it out at CarlosAnthony.com or parttimefamous.com.
And so this weekend I'll be in Chattanooga with Carlos. And then if you have any friends or family in Tennessee or Chattanooga specifically, please let them know. Next weekend I'll be in Tampa at Side Splitters, and then weekend after that, the first part of the week I'll be at Brad Garrett's, and then I'll be at Mike Drop in San Diego, and then February 20th through 23rd I'll be in Sanibel, Florida. And then I got Sacramento coming up, and you can go to BigIrishJ.com. And then Temecula, and then Boston, Massachusetts. Carlos will be there.
All these places, I ain't got not one invite to like Florida.
I know you're going to be in Arizona doing the Kokomo.
Florida's nice this time of year, too.
I know. You're cutting out again. Is your mic on? I think you're muted. Sandy, Sanders, Leisha, Princess, thank you for tuning in. And until next week, we'll keep trying to put the love back in you right.
See y'all later.
Bye. And